Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf. We are back here in Durnlingo, here in Fangorn, where we are with Quickbeam, who I'm sure has a number of things he wishes me to do for him, and of course, for the forest.
You should not be giving your right name away like so.
Ah, little one, I think the time has come to conclude what we began in Isengard. I hold in my hand the seeds of Orofarne and Carnimere, my beautiful Rowan friends. I wish to plant them here, closer to my home, so the brilliance of their descendants may match the grace they once possessed. Whom I would ask that you travel north to plant them, to the easeful mead. Although the land nearby has been scarred with brambles, I think of no better place for them to take root. Hum. Thank you, Pineleaf. Very well. Clear brambles from Fangorn Forest, so that I could prepare for the seeds, I presume. And that means heading up back north, which is always a real nice fun thing to do, getting through Fangorn, because between the trees and the hills, it's very easy to get lost in this place. Fortunately, there is a road through here, though more likely I suspect that it's an end path rather than what a hobbit or a man will call a road. There you go. Now let's see if we can find these brambles, make the place clear so that our new friend will be able to take root. Not that I'll be around here in Fangorn when the tree reaches its full height. At least I don't think so. Of course, that'll probably depend on the type of tree it is. This appears to be the last of the brambles that I could find. Hmm. Now that I'm here at the Easeful Mead, where would be a good place to plant the seeds? Hmm. This looks like it could be a good place right over here. Good. Now, what about the other one? Right by the end path. I'm sure that Quickbeam will appreciate that. Well, we'll see how much he appreciates it when I get back. I have planted the seeds.
Stand now and rest a while.
You have done me a great honor, Pineleaf. Although my Rowan friends are gone, their sacrifice will give way to new life in the forest. In time, I am certain I shall look upon their descendants with the same fondness I once held for them. Tarum! We shall reclaim the forest yet. Right?
Let's not be hasty.
Now you get from this a bundle of Fangorn leaves, and apparently I click on it and I get some number of leaves, in that case 3, and that goes into the barter wallet that I could use for items later on. Whom you have done much to earn my trust, Pineleaf. Times are truly different from when we met in Nan Coronir, but protecting the forest from itself is another matter entirely. To keep the tree killer from causing any more harm, we were forced to take action, but the cost was great to all. We Ents are responsible for maintaining order, and without us to tend the horns and bog lurkers, some have gone wild and confused. Whom my horn friend you found shall be your companion, and do and so you may seek out the troubles of the forest before they find us. Alright. Explore and protect Fangorn's forest with Quick Beam's horn. You've got to be kidding. All right. Yeah. A forest without frontiers. So I got to go all throughout the place and do tasks, followed by a tree. It appears there are locations all over the place that I can explore and help. The question is how to get to them. The nearest one is this way, but of course that's as the hobbit runs, or I should say as the crow flies. As the hobbit runs, who knows how close it'll be, or whether this is even the right direction. Fortunately, there are many potential destinations, and if this one proves to be very inconvenient, I can find another destination to reach. And in fact, the guide had switched momentarily there. And we've got some insects here. I'm sure that the horn won't like the insects sticking around. I suppose that's whether they like to attack trees or anything like that or not. Quickbeam's horn appears to be trying to draw your attention. Oh? As Quickbeam's horn marches about above the Entwash banks, you notice it begins to swat its branches at the nearby woodflies, narrowly missing your head in the process. In the absence of the Ents and most of the horns, it is clear that those disease-laden flies have grown unchecked and wild. Right. So I got the quest right after I killed the first fly. Well, that answers my question then, at least. And as you wander through the middle of the Fanghorn Forest, you notice Quickbeam's horn picking small objects from the ground nearby and stowing them on itself. Upon closer inspection, you notice that he's gathered seed pods from the forest floor, especially those that have fallen into the shadows. You are not quite certain why Quickbeam's horn is collecting them, but you decide to aid in the gathering of the seed pods. Well, they might be for several potential reasons, I guessed. That's whether or not they're seeds suitable for planting or for the local wildlife. All sorts of reasons on that. But we do have, I guess this is the first of the seed pods. I guess I'll be finding them all over the place. Now, where are we here? But a quest giver that you can't really talk to. Because, yeah, the quest giver's a tree. A walking one, but a tree. It appears the tree's trying to draw my attention again. You have encountered a young horn, and your companion swiftly shuffles to its side as if to defend it. You can't quite tell, but Quickbeam's horn appears to be upset that it is left to fend for itself in this empty, dangerous forest. You should continue to search for other lost horns, and then bring them to safety in Durandingle. So find lost horns in Fanghorn Forest. Okay. I guess this is one of them. There we go. Hello. Oh, we are. Are we gonna have a whole bunch of these? Oh, good grief! I'm gonna have an entire gaggle of, or whatever you call I guess a a, a copse of. A force might be a bit strong for it. An orchard is probably too tame. I would say that if you had a bunch of horns that were with Entwives, then an orchard of them might be a reasonable group name to use. There you go. But right now, quite enough in there. As for the Rowan trees. Looks like based on anything I can find, a rowan tree lives maybe about same life expectancy as a hobbit, maybe even slightly under, somewhere between the life expectancy of a human and the life expectancy of a hobbit, I guess I'll say. Not the. Where is. Oh, there you are. Ha! It looks like I swatted enough flies. Quickbeam's horn seems pleased that you have made an effort to rid the forest of disease-laden wood flies. You slew many of their number, and judging by the numerous crushed wings stuck to the horn's branches, so did it. Oh well. Drawn the water, and starting to get some rep finally. New deed, Stewards of Fangorn. What is this? Oh, complete every one of these? Yeah. Ah, another little lost horn. There you go. And another one to get back to Quickbeam as we search for more seeds. I hope this is enough of these things because I made quite a number of them. You pause to present the seed pods to Quickbeam's horn. Unaware of any other means to deliver the seeds to your large companion, you tuck them into a notch in its trunk. The horn shudders, hurling a seed pod down to the nearby earth and then gently pats it into the soil. Taking this as a sign that the horn will disperse the seed pods itself, you decide to press on. All right, now I need to find the third of those companions. Aha! Here's the third tree. At least I think there are three of them. Hello there. There you go. Now, let's get back to Durndingle. Hello there, Quickbeam. I found some of your lost friends.
Hum.
Boom.
You are hasty folk.
You have done well to bring these young ones to me, Pineleaf. I shall look after them, for such a role is not new to me. Or any ant, for that matter. Thank you, little one. There you go. And I noticed that he's got a few more quests here. Ah. 3 seed quests. Durndingle Guide to the Wooded Riverbank. And Ginstead, leader of Vandals, quieting southeast of Wellinghall, and Strongroth, driver in the tunnels. Oh, good grief. That all looks like too much for one day. Well, I think I got enough with this tree following me on my plate at the moment. It appears my new friend has something else he needs me to do. As you approach the area where you found Quickbeam's horn sleeping, you realize that the horn has become restless. Despite this queer behavior, for once the horn seems clear in its intentions. It has begun wandering to various trees and seemingly attempting to speak to them. However, its fairly rapid darting between them suggests that it has not been successful. Perhaps you can aid it in gaining the attention of the nearby flora to discerning what brought distress to the horn. So to poke a sapling, cough at a tree, and hug a tree. You're kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Well, I'll see what I can do. Make sure there isn't something else. No, there aren't any other items that need to be done. I just need to find the right trees that need poking, coughing, and hugging. Ah, here's a likely tree. It's a bit large to be able to poke effectively and a bit large for a hobbit to hug, so let's try coughing. The horn uproots itself and wanders about, clearly unwillingly to be caught unawares. Hmm, as I was like trying to social distance itself. Now there's a very large tree. How about if I tried to hug this one? Perhaps I should hug one of those vines that's going up. Because those vines look like they're almost large enough to hug. An enormous tree stands still in the cool breeze flowing through its leaves. Yes. Well, now let's go and find the sapling. Ah, here's a sapling that can use some attention. Obviously, I'm not going to hug this. Let's give it a little gentle poke. The sapling bristles at your touch, noting it is fearful of the troubles of Bankhorn. Quickbeam's horn takes a moment to stand nearby the enormous tree, and suddenly a breeze passes through their leaves. This breeze is not unlike the one that you heard a Quickbeam spoke to in his horn, but perhaps it is just a coincidence. After realizing that you've been trying to get its attention, the horn returns to your side and appears ready to press onward. Well, obviously they're expecting me to do the enormous tree last. Oh well. Ah, apparently there's something else troubling my friend. Quickbeam's horn suddenly slows to a halt behind you. Looking at the ground nearby, you notice it is marred by enormous footprints littered with chipped stone. The footprints continue far into the distance, and despite the sudden sense of dread creeping up over you, you decided to follow the trail. Search for signs of the creatures that passed through Fangorn. Well, enemy that was. So, are we talking about orcs? Or are we talking about wood trolls? We'll have to find that out in a moment. I don't think they're talking about flies if it's based on footprints. Flies don't leave much in the way of footprints. At least, not that I know of. I mean, after all, they're not called flies for nothing. Definitely not the footprint of a fly. A giant? This footprint could belong to a giant of significant size. Yeah. Ooh, that's not good. This tree was forcefully pulled from the ground and used as a crude club. You have discovered all that can you find of this giant creature, and thankfully it appears to have been away from the forest for some time. Quickbeam's horn does not seem to know what to make of these discoveries. A sense of familiarity with this mysterious figure claws at the back of your mind, but you decide to press on through the forest. So, could those have been early signs of Nearsm? A possibility. That is, of course, back before he was bringing eternal winter wherever he went, before he was merged with a horn. Things don't look very good over here. What do you say? As you approach the river Entwash, Quickbeam's horn seems distressed by the wild boglurkers nearby. The horn begins to wander, seemingly hoping to find boglurkers who haven't awoken to the darkness of Fangorn. Hmm. Wake Treebeard's boglurker, wake Quickbeam's boglurker, search for Skinbark's boglurker, and pat Beachbone's boglurker to wake it. Alright, so we're not worried about the wild bog lurkers, we are worried about finding the tame ones. Alright, I suppose that we can do that. I haven't found any of those lurkers yet, but you have something else you need? Near the river Entwash, Quickbeam's horn suddenly becomes distressed as he tries to wipe viscous slime from one of his roots. It shambles to a nearby tree that's grown brittle and lifeless before smearing the slime onto its trunk. The trunk shows signs of renewed health, and although such a remedy seems unlikely, you decide to aid the horn in healing the other wounded trees nearby. Collect slime from Entwash slugs. You're kidding me, aren't you? Well, I've seen one or two slugs around at some point, but there aren't any here. Oh, but there is a lurker here. More like a river lurker than a bog lurker, I guess. Hmm. Beach bones. So beach bones, I guess I'll have to pat it. While initially concerned over your closeness, the bog lurker stands and readies to aid Quickbeam. Right? There you go. That's one of those. Now, let's go and find those other lurkers and also to collect some of that slug juice. I think that's a slug right up ahead. Yeah, this is. There you go. Well, that's plenty of slime. Now that I have plenty of this slug juice, let's see how it works. Well, it might work. Looks like I have just enough for one more tree. Let's try it out. Ah, nice. Unfortunately, there seems to be a slug that wants to volunteer to be the next bit of healing salve for these trees. Ah, now, I think we have done enough on that. You have healed a number of trees in Fangorn, hopefully reversing the damage done by them for the new inhabitants of the forest. Although your aid is not immediately noticeable, in time the trees will once again grow tall and green. One could only hope so. Now, I have a few more bog lurkers to wake. It appears that Treebeard's bog lurker has found quite a napping spot. Very hard to find. Hello, wakey wakey! Treebeard's bog lurker scrambles to his feet and looks around the surrounding area. Very well, now we still need to find Quickbeams and Skinbark's lurkers. Skinbark's apparently prefers a spot that's above the waterfall. The spot lurker continues to lumber, but in the distance you hear the breaking of twigs and rapid beats of wings. You must defend this lurker until it can be roused. The breaking of twigs and the rapid beat of wings? Oh yes, of course, flies. That's right. What would be what kind of thing would be wings? Yes, of course. Wood flies. What other nasty danger have we encountered? I get distressed whenever that horn does that. Let's punt the flies far away so I can't attack them anymore. Really? Where'd that fly go? Oh, there you go. Where did it fly off to? There you go. Having rested through much turmoil, Skinbark's boglark arises and surveys the area. And now for quick beams. And the last of them, Quickbeam's bog lurker. As you approach Quickbeam's bog lurker, the reeds shake and it looks upon you from the ground. Seeking Quickbeam's horn beside you, it rises to its feet and readies itself to aid the forest. Yay, we're done. You have awoken the bog lurkers and aided Quickbeams and the horns. Perhaps these bucklers can aid you in quelling the wild behavior of their brethren. Yes, we can only hope so. And that is quite enough of a patrol for today, so I'll head back to Quickbeam, and that's where I'll meet you when we return for the next episode of the Complete Pine Leaf.